Cheal Sonnen stepping it up to 205, and he's not going to have to cut so much weight. And I really think that, if he beats one or two of the top 205ers, probably two of them, something like, Shogun and Machida, or, say Rampage and Phil Davis, or, Bader and Shogun, or any of those top level guys, Gustafsson, or anybody who's highly ranked to the top 10, I think they'd throw him in there with Jon Jones after two fights. I mean, why wouldn't they? He just came off a loss and, was rated at the #1 contender twice in the 185-pound division, and hasn't been beat besides anyone besides Anderson Silva. So, he took Anderson Silva down at will, and until he gassed out in the second round, which I think was because of dehydration, he was able to manhandle Anderson Silva, and didn't even hang out in his guard. He got into side control the whole first round. Regardless, I give Cheal Sonnen credit, and that's what I think. I think that he would be so marketable in a fight with Jon Jones if he could make it there, and if Jon Jones is still at the top at that point. This would be a year from now, because two fights would be 6 months and 6 months. So probably about a year and a half to probably 2 years. So, and that would be just two fights. It would take a year and a half. So, Cheal Sonnen, he was back in the studio, UFC on Fuel TV, #4, and started to look like he gained some hydration. But he's going to jump into the 205-pound division, and I wonder who he's going to fight next. Read my predictions. I basically broke down him versus Shogun, versus Machida, versus Rampage, and now I'm doing him versus Jon Jones. So, in a fight versus Jon Jones, I think he'd be able to hang with the stand-up. If you saw the way he fought Anderson Silva, he was actually able to hit Anderson Silva again. It wasn't a fluke the first time. So he was actually, I think, winning the stand-up in that fight. And until he gassed, which I'm saying it again was because of dehydration, he was manhandling Anderson Silva. He was quick with the takedown, and didn't get stuck in the guard. He passed into side control, and he went out the whole first round, took him down again in the second round, and he didn't get in trouble until he let him up. Came out with that, I guess, stupid-looking reverse elbow or spinning elbow technique, and fell to the floor and was done. And Jon Jones has looked amazing, stood up with Rashad, and really took advantage of a great striker. So, do I think that Cheal Sonnen would be able to get Jon Jones on the floor? I think he probably would be able to get him down a couple times. But I also think Jon Jones would be able to get him down as well. So I think that this would be a pretty mixed fight, and I'd be leaning more towards Jon Jones. But I think that Cheal Sonnen would be a tough test for him for a 5-round decision. I don't think that Cheal Sonnen would knock out Jon Jones, and I don't think he would submit Jon Jones either. So Cheal Sonnen would be a tough test for him, maybe for a decision, but Jon Jones has all the ways to win. He can submit Cheal Sonnen, choke him out, knock him out, beat him in decision. So Jon Jones would have a lot more ways to win this fight, and that's my prediction if this fight ever came to fruition. And I hope it does, and I think it'd be great for the UFC. But yeah, Cheal Sonnen, you got to go back and win some fights first. So let's see what happens. Exciting end of 2012 coming up, and should be a great another year for UFC. I mean, it just doesn't stop. The fights just don't stop. Awesome fights, and these guys move around. We get to see all the matchups, and yeah, this is one we're going to want to see later on. Johnny Bones Jones versus Cheal the Big Mouth Sonnen.